Here's the thing.
It's got to be
you
on
told
purpose,
people
right?
not to work, so they didn't make things. Then they couldn't ship them. Then they couldn't unload them. Then they couldn't stock the shelves with them. And now you go, you know what the answer is? Just turn it on 24/7.
Work more.
Again, you had Marty Walsh, the Secretary of Labor, get asked last Sunday night what the problem was. He said, I don't know. If you don't know what the problem is, then you shouldn't be the Secretary of Labor. You have Pete Buttigieg literally on Sunday calling it a success. A success.
Let me pull up the story we got from Timcast.com. Transportation Secretary Buttigieg says supply chain disruptions could continue into 2022. So we just found out that apparently he was on like a 2-month leave.
No one knew.
While the crisis is happening, we're wondering, like, how did this happen? Well, the guy who's supposed to be running that isn't here, for one thing. But actually, before the show, you brought up a really good point about this.
So I have a chapter in the book called Biden Inc., and it talks about all the people that got confirmed and didn't, that we don't know about. And when I say that is, frankly, I don't think Republicans did their job during the confirmation process. But check this out. Pete Buttigieg is 38 years old. He was the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, that has 100,000 people. And do you know how many buses they have? 66
million? 66 million?
No, 66 buses. There's 66 buses in a city of, okay, and that's who we chose to lead the airways, the railways, the seaports. All of these things are being run by a guy that's 38 years old that oversaw 66 buses.
Let's be real. Buttigieg dropped out through his support behind Biden and they gave him a kickback.
But here's the kicker. So when he was confirmed, right, and I talk about this in the book, that the first thing Biden says is, I'm excited to have the most qualified guy. No, he says, I'm excited to have the first openly gay cabinet member to lead a department. And they said that because Grinnell had been DNI, but that's not the point. The point is, when Grinnell got hired by Trump, it was because he was qualified, because he had the experience. When Buttigieg got hired, it was because he checked a box, not because he was qualified.
I feel like, I see Buttigieg and they make that announcement. He's at the first gay department head. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Like, congratulations to Buttigieg on his family and his love and his children. So what experience and work do you have?
Yeah.
Like, look, the social stuff aside, we can be like, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think Biden doesn't care about his legacy. He has a guy that's arguing with
But
Tucker Carlson about male breastfeeding right now. That's the argument happening right now.
What he wants to do, because to him, it's more important to say I checked a box. Who did I appoint? Not what did I get done? Think about this.
Real quick. Kamala Harris, she got 0 delegates,
right?
right?
Yeah.
So he chooses her.
She's the least popular person who ran.
But what did he say? Not that I want the best qualified VP that can step in and be president. I want to have the first woman, and I'm going to choose someone of color. So he immediately says it's not about qualifications. The other person that I really delve into, and there's a lot of them, but one of my favorites is Dennis McDonough. He's the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, never served in the military, didn't work with veterans groups, and doesn't have anything to do with healthcare, right? The only other person in the history of the United States that hasn't been a veteran that was secretary was David Shulkin, who had served in Obama. Trump kept him. He's a doctor. He worked in the VA. He understands healthcare, specifically veterans healthcare, right? VA healthcare systems, how it's delivered, etc. Dennis McDonough had no experience except he had been Obama's chief of staff. That's it. But those are the kind of people that we're putting in place, and we wonder why we are where we are.
This is a point that I have made, because we are looking at a social justice, checking the box for demographics administration. You're seeing it play out. This is what's happening.
And to Luke's point, though, that this is their metric.
Yes, it is.
If you're on the left, it's not what did you get done. It's how many boxes did you check? How many firsts? How many things can we say that you did, so that, it's how much critical race theory did you inject into the system? How many of these, welfare programs did you start? But it's all about being able to lay a marker down for the progressive left going forward.
It's a cult.